Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made to help agents become top producers and remain top producers in their desired market anywhere in the country. You can learn more about that at topproducersnation.com. See our different programs, courses, coaching, and different opportunities, resources to help you stay and remain a top producer in your desired market. We are powered, though, on a local level here in Tampa Bay, Florida, by our local franchise, which is called Tampa Bay Real Producers, which is where we feature the top 500 producing real estate agents in the Tampa Bay market. In fact, our guest today on the show is Brooke Brate, who was our cover feature in our September issue most recently, which you can find at tampabayrealproducers.com. In fact, I think there's Brooke popping up on the screen as we speak with her cover spotlight for our September issue. So, Brooke, it's good to have you here today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm going to be honest. I thought this was like a recorded thing, and then I walked in and it's live and you have me posting on my Instagram. So here we go. I hope I don't disappoint.
People, they don't even know what's going on. It's like keep them in the dark. You know, They don't even know where the studio is half the time.
I didn't know where the studio was. I don't know what's going on, but we're here.
We are here.
Hopefully we can talk about some things that interest people.
Hopefully we can. That's really the goal of what we're doing here. So, Brooke, if you got a chance to check out her story, some of this stuff might be also talked about in the magazine, but I know many people haven't had a chance yet to check out the actual magazine article. So why don't we start with just a little bit of your background? How did you get yourself into Tampa?
Okay.
And how did you get interested in real estate?
Real estate's been a part of my life, my entire life. My mom's a real estate agent, has owned her own brokerage for part of her career, then sold it because she kind of wanted to be back in an office environment once we all went to school. Okay. My dad's a custom home builder, so I grew up on construction sites and at open houses. My aunt's an agent, my uncle's a builder, my brother's an agent, my brother-in-law's an agent.
Wow.
So
real estate really is in the blood, huh?
Real estate's in the blood, but my mom was always like, real estate's always there for you. I would encourage you to work in corporate America and you can always do real estate. But like when you're 22 out of school, you just don't have a ton of life experience yet. And also it's hard for someone to trust someone with like the biggest purchase of their life with someone that's just starting. So just getting a little bit more experience in life and then letting that just develop over time. So I actually chose to go the path of like PR and communications.
Okay, that was your major?
Yes, I did communications at Clemson University from South Carolina. I think I had mentioned that. And we dove in. So I did entertainment PR in LA and then went straight after school to work with the PR department with the Carolina Panthers. Cool. And got really lucky. My first year out, went 15-1, went to the Super Bowl, lost.
I remember that year.
Yeah, lost, but I remember.
Cam Newton had quite a season that year.
That was a fun year, right? We didn't even lose till the day after Christmas, so it was just awesome. The owner was very superstitious. We had Bojangles like every day before the game. It was a lot of Bojangles. So he actually ended up flying it out to the Super Bowl as well in San Francisco.
They came up that one game shy, huh?
Yeah, we must have not. It must have not worked across cross country. But anyways, it was a fabulous year. And then took that experience and was able to get a full-time job with the Bucks. So came down here, knew nothing about Tampa. I had one friend down here who went to Clemson with me that just so happened to play for the Bucks. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying, how's Tampa? And he's like, it's great. And I drive up and I'm looking at South Howard. During the day, it doesn't look like much. Sure. You're like, this is a little sketchy looking. Yep. But it's been 10 years now and
You didn't know anything about Tampa at the time?
No, nothing. I mean, I was like, there could be worse places where a job was. Like, I could end up in Green Bay, you know? So I was like happy, like sun, beach, we can do that.
Yep.
And then was with the Bucks for 3 years.
Same job with the Bucks that you had with Carolina?
Yeah, same thing in PR, and did real estate on the side. So I was kind of like, let me just dabble with this on the side. Would sell like 2 or 3 a year to a friend. Okay. And then it kind of turned into 4 or 5. Then it turned into more. And then
what made you want to get a side hustle going on with real estate at the time?
I think it's just my personality. It's like, what more can I do, right? Okay. I also...
You had some free time on your hands and figured
especially
this might
in
be
the off season, you know, season's crazy and it's hectic. So I came in October during bye week of 2016, and then it hit January. And at that time, you know, it was pre-Tom Brady and Baker, and January 1st, you were done. Because guess what? You didn't make the playoffs at that time. And so I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get my license here. Let's start dabbling a little bit just so we can see. And then I also taught indoor cycling at camp, which I ended up teaching for 7 years. Nice. And I loved it. That was more because I was like, I'm not making a lot of money, and that way I can get a free gym membership, really. And ended up loving it, and it was a great way to meet people.
How long were you at Carolina?
Carolina was just a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just that year.
Okay.
And
picked
that's
a good year to work for him then.
I know, right? And it was so unrealistic of what the rest of like a career in sports looked like, right? Like that's so not going to happen again.
You get to travel to the Super Bowl and participate in all that. Nice.
Yeah. So we worked so much, holy moly. And they actually flew my parents too, which was pretty cool. So my parents were probably like, gosh, maybe this isn't such a bad career. But no, I mean, I loved working in sports. I worked under some amazing people. And then again, like hustle kind of side hustle, out hustled my hustle. And I was like, I'm going to leave and do real estate. And that was in 19. Okay.
So you got licensed in what year?
17.
Okay. And we're doing kind of a part-time hustle for a few years.
Part-time hustle.
And then 19, you went all in.
Well, we thought we were going to go all in. And then like 2 weeks after I wrapped up with the Bucks, and I remember going to my boss and being like, it's a 2 weeks notice, but like, if you need more time to like find somebody, I'm not going to like mess you up. Like I can help. So my 2 weeks notice was really like 2.5, 3 months. So by the time I left, it was like right at the beginning of the season. And then within a couple weeks of leaving, was offered a job as the head of communications for the Super Bowl committee.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of
like... Now, Brady came in 2020, didn't he? Or was it 19?
He came in COVID year. So
2020.
2020. So that was the year we won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Which was, you know, crazy. And I remember taking the job, and in my mind when I took the job, I was like, oh, you know, we won't get to the Super Bowl. We won't get anywhere close to the Super Bowl. It'll be fine. Like as far as like taking care of things at home and our dog, because my husband played at the time.
Cameron, correct?
Yes, Cameron. And so took the job, took it prior to COVID. COVID ended up happening, obviously pretty crazy. Like you don't know you're going to be planning a Super Bowl in a COVID landscape.
Sure.
And although Florida was
like a once in a lifetime experience, hopefully, but yes.
Although Florida was a little bit obviously more relaxed about things.
Right.
The country as a whole in the NFL, I mean, it's the whole country. And so it's optics too. And so you're having to kind of like, Tampa may have seemed totally normal almost a full year after COVID happened, but the NFL was a lot stricter. So you're like, okay, well, we can do this any normal day, but we have to make sure we're meeting guidelines and making sure we're doing things safely. And so it was kind of like writing the playbook on how to plan a safe event.
Yeah.
And then obviously that topped
But you would have been involved in that event no matter where it was. It just happened to be in Tampa that year.
When I took it, we knew it was in Tampa.
Okay.
And that's what they do is so like you have...
Each year it's a different committee that leads
Each year it's a different committee.
That makes sense.
And so you're like the liaison between, you know, Park Avenue office in New York and the Super Bowl because you have to have people here that are connected with...
Boots on the ground, right?
Yeah, boots on the ground, airport, TSA, commissioner, mayor, all those contacts, your
Makes
partners, your sponsors. So got done with that in April of 2021, and that's when I actually went full-time in real estate.
And so that first year, technically it wasn't your first year, but that first year going all in, say 2021, Did your network, is that kind of what you leaned into to be able to start getting deal flow on a more consistent basis through sports and through just the establishment that you had put together through, your career there?
Yeah.
Is that how things started to get going for you?
Yeah. And I mean, I think it made it a lot easier versus just, a lot of people when they start in real estate and there's nothing else you can do, but you're like, hey, I got my license. Call me to buy your house.
Now
and
what?
everyone's
Right.
like, okay, well, it's a little scary to call you when I don't really want to be the guinea pig.
I mean, I like you, but
yeah, but that's a big decision. And I mean, I even had that happen early on in my career, right?
Sure.
Like people may have liked me on a personal level, but buying a house is a big deal. And so you also have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You also, even still today, with a lot of experience, be okay if somebody doesn't want to work with you because they don't want to mix, personal and business.
Sure.
And when you're helping someone buy a house, like you are in their finances, like everything. So I think it's sometimes something that people struggle with is letting that be okay.
Yep.
I mean, you always want people to work with you and that's the biggest compliment in the world, but you have to be respectful of when they want those separated.
Yeah, totally. It makes sense.
But I think like when I actually went full time, I had been selling real estate for 4 years.
Yeah.
And been a part of it for so long. So I was already doing, I was over 10 million a year at that point, which was great. And then
many agents never even get there trying to do it full time, and you were doing it part time and still hitting some milestones.
Yeah. And what I will say is like the 16-month contract job with the NFL for the Super Bowl, when I took that job, in my mind, it was very much so like, well, I know after this I'm going back to real estate. So I can't abandon real estate for 16 months and expect to come back and be like, and I'm back, right? So I had an amazing boss who was like, I'm not going to babysit you. Like, I wouldn't be hiring you for this job unless you knew what you were doing. And, if that means you have to go out for a showing, but you are going to stay later to get things done, like, it was a lot more flexible.
He trusted you to get the job done regardless.
Then, like, obviously with the Bucks, like, that was main priority. That was my full-time job. And so it allowed me to grow a lot during that year, which that boss is Rob Higgins, who was the head of the sports commission and just got announced as CEO of the USF Athletics.
Oh, wow.
He's amazing.
Shout out to you, Rob.
Shout out to you, Rob. I'll be at your press conference on Monday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but he's great. So he really gave me the flexibility that allowed me to still keep my my real estate career going, knowing that it's a contract job and it ends, and allowing myself to not just totally abandon that for the year. Mm-hmm.
What percentage of the deal? Do you remember how many deals you did in that first full year when you were all in?
I don't know how many deals. I just know it was like around 12 or 13 or 14 million, something like that.
So, I mean, it would still, obviously it was growth compared to what you were doing before.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the year before that was like
done about 10 million?
7 or 8. And then it was, it just like, it kind of has doubled every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, last year, for people who don't know, I think over 50 million is what we said.
Right under 51. I think it was 50.8 to be exact. Yeah.
And this is all as an individual agent.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like a layered organization of team or anything at this point. Maybe one day that might change, but you're out there hustling and bustling, solo agent producing this volume, right?
I am, yes. I do have somebody that I lean on. Her name's Nicole Thomas. She's fabulous. She came on a few years ago. I had sold her actually a couple houses. And she used to take my cycle classes.
Okay.
And she came to me and said, I really want to get my license, but I only want to get my license if I can learn under you. Like, no pressure.
Sure.
But it was actually
smart positioning.
It was actually perfect because she has her own book of business. She's fabulous, but then it's also someone I can trust to lean on. Let's say there's a 6:00 showing. Cam's not around. I don't have a sitter. Someone you can trust to go out and take your clients on showings. But no, she has like her volume is her volume. And she's growing a lot and doing really well, but it is nice to have, someone you can trust that, can show up for your clients if you need to, or someone, hey, I'm headed out of town for 3 days. Can you cover if something pops up?
Yep.
And I do the same thing for her. But even if she wasn't in town, like Smith has such a great network of agents that I would even feel comfortable like texting a couple other friends within Smith, just saying like, hey, Nicole's out of town and so am I. If by chance this happens, could you help? And they're always
People
like, of
be
course.
willing to step up.
Yeah. And because they know I do the same thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You mentioned off camera earlier that your business over the years has been pretty much organic, right? The entire time. There hasn't been a need or maybe even a desire to like try to go after certain marketing sources, whatever the case may be. And yet the business has still grown. Is there anything you can pinpoint that you feel like has really helped you in getting traction and success with really organic means the entire time? What are some key result areas that you feel like have helped you do that?
Well, I mean, I feel like if you do a good job, people will come back to you and they'll
And
tell
referrals,
people
I'm
about
assuming,
you
is a
and
big part of
referrals.
this.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's either friends of mine that see what I do. And I told you I don't like love social media. I'm like, okay, I got to post, because at the end of the day, you got to let people know what you're doing, right? And every once in a while, I'll have like a really busy day and I'll think like, okay, let me actually post what I do today. And people are like, holy moly, you're so busy. It's not every day, you know, it gets there though. But I think if you just treat every transaction the same and you treat people the right way, like it will come back to you. And I'm thankful that it's just been able to be really organic for me.
Is there a particular type of client that you have found that you generally have found yourself working with more than others, or is it really all over the map with the types of demographics and you know, the type of client that you feel like you serve really well? Is there any consistency to that?
I don't think there's consistency to that, and I'm actually really proud of that. I am a big like, nothing's too big or too small, right? And so I love helping the girl that took my cycle class for 5 years and she's buying her first house and it's a townhouse in Riverview, right? Like I love that. And I feel like I'm giving somebody great service and helping her make a huge decision in her life. Now, don't get me wrong. I love selling, having the cash buyer at $5 million buying a fourth house, and they're not that picky because they're not attached to it, and it's, you know, so I mean, I do full spectrum of things, but I like to be able to say like I do everything, and if for whatever reason I don't have the bandwidth for it, you know, I can lean on other people in the office too to help, you know, even if it's referring it out. But usually it's worked out where I've been able to do it all.
Most of your clients are pretty much local people, or do you find that you have people coming from South Carolina and other states as well that are coming to Florida, or is that a big part of your business model right now?
Not a huge part of it. I mean, I think some friends here will have, oh, my friend's moving here from Tennessee, you know, or, oh, I have a business partner, like one of my clients who actually, he's a fabulous client. He gives me a lot of clients, but he's a financial advisor. And so, you know, he sends clients my way, and like one of them, for example, is like, oh, he's from New York. So when I get someone from out of state, it's typically somebody that knows somebody that's a client or a friend of mine.
What percentage of your business, Brooke, would you say is referral based? Have you ever tracked that?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I mean, if it's not my friends, it's all referral based. I mean, truly.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. It sounds like as much as 90 to 100% of your business flow. And it's not like you're doing a handful of transactions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing some pretty hefty volume. I think I saw last year was over 30 clients that you helped. It's over 50 million. So it seems like you're in some luxury spaces there for sure. But still,
then you'll see lower price points mixed in.
Yeah,
right?
it's a mix, I'm sure. But even just to help 30 clients a year, like that's not easy that's a healthy volume when it's 100% organic, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times you see people supplementing a handful of referrals a year to get to 30 deals, right? But obviously whether you've had this massive network that just loves you dearly and wants to refer you endlessly, or there's maybe some other, community-based things that I would have to imagine your experience as well with PR and with the Bucks and all the networks that might have brought you could have helped in some ways in building up the base that you've been able to have. But it's a testament to obviously how people view you and the customer service that you're bringing to the table, without a doubt. So congrats on the success you've had.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about, and I always tell people, like, it's all about your network wherever those are, and it's all about, like, where you have a seat at the table. So, do
you miss the PR days at all?
Parts of it I do, but I feel like I use a lot of what I learned in PR when I do real estate.
Sure.
I mean, from a communication standpoint, from prepping, your listing standpoint, and just planning events, right? And getting the word out, having that network, and being able to, get people to your brokers open and different things like that. So I don't miss it. Definitely not sports PR in the sense of like the hours and like the craziness of it, but it was like a great part of my life, and it helped me get to where I was. But I mean,
Is that where you met your husband? Was through?
I did. Yeah. I did. So when I said I had one friend here when I moved here, who was my friend from Clemson, it was Adam Humphreys, who played at Clemson and was playing for the Bucks and was Cam's roommate.
Got it.
So when I moved here and I truly knew no one, and I worked in PR, you don't get holidays off either. You're on football schedule. Yeah. So I always call him Hump, Adam, but Hump was like, oh, come over for Thanksgiving, whatever. And so I got to know Cam better from there. And everyone's like, oh, well, didn't you have a crush on him? Like, no, because it's just, that's not where you're at, your mindset when you're working in it. You're like actually so distanced from that. So I actually tried to set Cameron up with my friends. And then,
it always works that way. That's always the story.
Yeah. And then he got a little liquid courage the night of the Clemson National Championship game in 2017.
Which was here, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
And so obviously me and Adam were very excited. Clemson's in our hometown. And Cam let me know how he felt. So we've been together ever since.
And it worked out since.
Yeah.
Is he in real estate at all this time?
Oh, gosh, no. He'd be so bad at it. and like he'd say that too.
Is he still involved with the game at all?
He would love to be. So he retired in 23, went straight back to get his master's at UT, got his MBA, graduated in May. And the thing that's amazing is like we have such great networks here. So many people that are like, Cam, come do this with me. Come do this with me. Come do this. I think he has such a passion for football. So he did help them during training camp, like in the scouting department under Jason and them, who in my opinion are literally like the best in the league. I mean, I don't even think that's biased.
They've built quite a culture over the last decade.
They're truly amazing. And he really enjoyed it. So if that could ever turn into something full-time, I think it'd be something he'd be interested in. Unfortunately, there's not any openings now. Like you can't take someone else's job no matter how much they love him. But I think if something,
I'm sure they can create a new one for him if they really had to, right?
We'll see. But I mean, even from the beginning, he's like, on the scouting side, it is very specific in what their roles are. Like you're assigned teams. So he's like, if the jobs are full, even if they were to make a job for me, I don't know what I'd be doing, you know? And so I think if something were to become full-time at some time in that, he'd be very interested. But, we've always had different things we're invested in, different partnerships, opportunities. He's kind of like, okay, well, let me dive more in. And
how long was he in the game?
See how involved I want to get. 9 years.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, 9 years as a football player, you need a little bit of time, I think, to kind of rest your body a little bit and
he doesn't
get
rest.
Caught up, maybe.
He doesn't rest. He's one of the most. I mean, he's my best friend.
Now you could be a stay-at-home dad for a while too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
He is literally the best dad. Like I'm so lucky.
That's awesome.
But I also think he would love to have something of his own, right? Like just as much as I love my daughter, she's the best thing ever. I can't wait to. I'm clearly pregnant, gonna have another baby in 2 months.
How old's your daughter?
It was
again?
very important for me to get back to work, and he wants something too.
Sure.
My daughter's 21 months, so they'll be 23 months apart.
Very cool.
2 girly girls.
2 girly girls about 2 years apart.
Yeah.
That's exciting. A lot of exciting things happening in the Brate family household right now.
Yeah.
Is your family in this area? Do you have grandparents nearby? None of them. They're all over the place. Huh?
No. So my parents are still in South Carolina, and then Cameron's actually originally from outside of Chicago in Naperville.
Okay.
And
did you grow up in South Carolina?
I did, Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Grew up in Myrtle, went to Clemson, and then obviously lived in Charlotte a year.
Yep.
Panthers been here ever since.
I have cousins that live in Clemson, in Anderson, technically. So they're right on the lake there. One of my cousins is an ophthalmologist there, and they have season tickets to every Clemson games. They're diehard Tiger fans. I go up about once a season, and they always tailgate and go hard.
We need to be better. We went, remember in what year was it? Maybe 2019. It was like the beginning of the season, and we got a hurricane scare, and they gave us a week 1 bye.
Yeah.
And I remember Cameron and Adam, Hump, they were walking off the field, and Hump goes, let's go to Clemson. Because, it was like, you might as well. Like, you got to get out of town.
It's a cool experience, that Death Valley scene, and tailgating with all the fans. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love taking my kids up there, too, to have a good time with the family up there as well.
It's amazing.
My cousin does well for himself, so he lives in the same neighborhood as Dabo Sweeney. They're like neighbors in that community.
He probably does really well then.
He does, yeah. He's got a beautiful property, and so he usually has big parties at his house after the game's over, and so we have a good time up there.
Well, we think it's interesting because like Clemson's grown so much, and like Greenville, South Carolina, that's only like 40 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Now it's like cool, it's beautiful. Like everyone moves there. Like even when I was graduating, you moved to Charlotte or Atlanta or Charleston.
Yeah.
Like Greenville wasn't cool. Now everyone's like going to Greenville. We have friends retiring, like building houses like near Clemson on the lake. Like Scotty Miller's building his house there. We're like, I'm like in Clemson, but like it's gorgeous. And
that's what he just did. Was it Seneca, right? Lake Seneca?
Yeah. Why am I blanking on what it is? Is it
I don't know why I thought that name, but I'm pretty sure it was Lake Seneca
I mean,
that he built on.
I'm sure Seneca's right outside
But it's
of
a
Clemson,
gorgeous lake.
So, is it Kiwi?
It could be. No idea.
I feel like if anyone is watching this that's from Clemson, I'm gonna be like, you are like the worst Tiger fan. I also haven't been back in a while.
They're going to be sending you messages here shortly about it.
I know.
I have one other business question, and then we can a couple quick rapid fire questions as well as we wrap up for you to make sure we get you out of here on time. On the business side, what is your formula now for listings and buyers? Is it pretty split between the two? Do you find yourself focusing on one or the other?
Again, it comes naturally to me, so I'm not necessarily focusing on like, oh, I need more listings. It's just like what comes to me is what comes to me. This person's moving, this person's moving on, this person's needing more space. You know, I do feel like I always have a little bit more buyers. It's just
okay. You don't necessarily have a preference, but whatever comes.
How my business has always been. I'm cool either way. I think it's healthy to have a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like listings during COVID years.
Buyers now could become listings later, so
exactly
that makes sense.
But you know, listing a house during COVID, that was fun. You know, you just throw it up there, sat back, like whatever you wanted, you got. It's harder now, and
different game now, yeah.
It's a little bit different of a game. So I think yes, it's great to have listings and have those very realistic conversations with your sellers beforehand on just the current market right now. Mm-hmm. But like if people price right and they have the house right, like I had a house that I listed up in Lutz last week, had 13 showings over 72 hours and 4 offers over ask.
Nice.
So that happens too.
Sure.
But then, you know, I have a few dirt listings right now from the storm last year. Those are going to sit till after the hurricane. That's just the reality of it, unless you're just willing to give it away. Yep. So, you know, you want listings, but it's fun to have buyers right now as well, because we do have a little bit more flexibility. You have a little bit more power. So
show off how creative you really are.
That's right. Yeah. So I don't necessarily
is there a geographic area that you find yourself working a lot in, or is it all of Tampa Bay, outside of Tampa Bay even?
I do all of Tampa. You know, I'll end up in North Tampa sometimes for someone that wants more space, more privacy, but typically South Tampa, I do the majority of my volume on Davis Islands.
Davis Island? Okay. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. You do anything in Pinellas County as well, or more just Hillsborough?
I really don't do Pinellas. Okay. Every once in a while for like a friend, right? But it's just most of my friends, because that's who my clients are. They're in South Tampa.
Got it. Couple rapid fire questions again on the personal side. Ready?
All right.
Do you have a favorite book, author, seminar that you feel like you've ever attended before that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally?
Oh my gosh, my husband's going to kill me if he watches this, because he's like, you don't read enough. He reads like
or it could be a podcast or anything that you feel like has made an impact.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what I will say is I went to a conference here locally that Smith like really leans into, and it's called Ninja. Okay. And it was like a 3-day conference, and they just go into like how to keep up with your referral base, with your network, how to follow up. Different
Is that
things.
related to ninja selling? Is it
Ninja selling.
It is, okay.
And I will say that did change the way that I work my business.
Very cool.
The way that I follow up, the way that I keep up with people. Also the way that you have to also set boundaries as an agent. Not only from like you go in, you know the price of what a house should be. You have what you should get paid, and you don't waver from that. And if someone doesn't want to work with you from that beginning conversation, like it's only going to get worse, right? Yeah. And so having a backbone to be able to talk about your worth, and having the confidence and the ability to say, I'm not the right agent for you. Yep. So I think
that's hard to do a lot of times for especially newer agents who are just kind of desperate for where that next commission might be coming from.
Yes, it's really hard.
I think I couldn't agree with you more. Like having that vision as to what type of agent you want to be, and being clear about it, and knowing and having confidence, and that really does portray itself in those conversations and sets the right expectations as well.
Yeah, so I think as far as like from my business, Ninja was a huge part of like what we leaned into. And like as soon as I came over to Smith, which was in fall of 22, Nikki immediately was like, I want you in Ninja in January. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Cool. And
So a 3-day event, or how did it shake out?
It was a 3-day event.
Yeah.
It was in this building.
Nice.
And it was great. And I mean, I think different parts of it will speak to different people, but there's definitely some systems that I put into place that it's just like part of my routine now.
Cool. You have a favorite movie or TV show?
My TV shows are all like guilty pleasures. I love Dancing with the Stars. It's like so lame.
That show's been around forever now.
It's been
around
around
for 25 years?
Yes. And what I will say is like, it wasn't cool until recently.
Okay.
or like, not that it wasn't cool. That's the wrong way of saying it. But now it's like really cool because they have some younger dancers on it that are like all in TikTok. So you have like this younger fan base. Like, I am loyal. I have been watching this since it was just me and the grandmas watching it.
Do they have totally different dancers now than they did? I've
They
actually
have some
maybe
of the
seen one episode
same,
in my
and
life,
they have
but
some new. But like, I know it all. I have made Cameron go to like Dancing with the Stars on tour locally.
Nice.
Which he'll never go to again. And I remember
they bring a lot of football players on the show, don't they?
Historically,
they've had football players on there.
I'm trying to think of like some people on it. My
It's kind of
favorite
funny
right
to see
now.
these big guys with their twinkle toes just getting out there.
Yeah. I think Gronk would be really funny on it.
I can see that. Yeah,
he'd
no
be
doubt.
good. But no, like this season just started, and I really like Steve Irwin's son, Robert Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
He was great the other night, so I'm excited to watch him.
Shout out to you, Robert.
Shout out to you, Robert.
So Dancing with the Stars. Maybe that's something that you can do one day. Who knows?
Oh gosh, that
Or
would
at
be
least on the promo side.
Yeah, there you go. But no, like it was it's like guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
My Dancing with the Stars. But I
gotcha.
used to always watch it. It's on Monday nights, and then I'd call my grandma Tuesday and we'd talk about it. And so that's kind of why I got into it.
What's your favorite thing to do when you just get a chance to relax and hang out with the family? Do you guys have a favorite hobby, favorite interest?
Well, I love going and working out. I work out at Suka. It's a gym here locally. Shout out Dylan and Brian. They're the owners, very good friends of ours. But
You
like,
guys live in South Tampa?
yeah, we live in Hyde Park,
Okay.
but we're building about to start building on Davis Islands.
Nice.
We actually owned a property there that flooded during the storm. So obviously building high.
Yeah.
But we're excited to build, and kind of with my dad having been a builder
Are they
growing
building
up.
on stilts yet over there? Or is that
I
yet
mean,
to
some
come?
people are really up. If you're in velocity zone, we're not. We're
Uh-huh.
just on the canal. So, but I mean, we have pilings, and you're
Right.
up.
Right.
So, Cam's like, maybe we add an extra footer or something
Yeah.
just to be
You might want
safe.
to think about it.
So we're
You
up.
never know what's happening with these storms now every other year.
Yeah, we're up a little higher than you have to be, but we're excited. In no rush. I mean, we're happy where we're at, but we're excited to do that.
So working out's the thing, huh?
Working out's the thing,
I gotcha.
or like family day if we can. Cam loves to cook, so he'll make a big breakfast. We walk up to the village.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you to have the second one within 2 years here. It was a
Yes.
pleasure to get to know you a little bit on the boat that we had recently. I'm glad you were able to come out with us for a
I
little
know.
yacht
I
night.
didn't even. I don't know if I just don't read the instructions right when you send me stuff. I also didn't know I was showing up to a boat, and so I show
I just
up.
thought we were meeting outside by the water somewhere, a little celebration party.
I kind of like thought it was maybe at like American Social or something. Like, I don't get
gotcha.
out anymore. I'm kind of lame, And so I show up, and Dom, who was also in my edition, who I love.
He's going to be on the show too, so, coming up in one of these a few weeks, I think.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I love Dom. He's great. And so I like text my husband. I'm like, hey, I'm out on a boat. Like, I don't know when it's coming back in. So whenever it does, I guess I'll be
You could have
home.
invited him to join. He was more than welcome.
He was on baby duty.
I gotcha.
He had
Somebody
to put
has
the
to be.
baby down. Yeah.
I get it.
But no, me and Dom got to hang. I got to meet some people. It was great.
No doubt. So I'm glad
That's
you were
awesome.
able to come. So don't be a stranger. You're going to be getting invitations to other things from
Okay.
us. Hopefully they'll be clear.
Yeah.
Invitations.
I think they are clear. I'm just unclear. So it's my fault.
It's all good. We're going to end with this. I call this our legacy question.
Okay.
So, many, many years from now, hopefully when you're sitting on that rocking chair and thinking about what you would want your legacy to be and what you'd want to be most remembered for your young kids, and it could be professional or personal, but what do you think would be most important to you in terms of what you'd want to be most remembered for?
Oh, gosh. I would just say, like, we all have our bad days, but just being a good person, treating everybody the same, treating people the right way, showing up for people that show up for you. And I think that overflows into both business and personal, right? So,
It does.
but yeah, I try to go out every day and be positive and leave a positive impact. And like, don't get me wrong, you have bad days,
Don't we
but
all?
I mean, I don't know, help people how you can.
Yeah.
Both
Well, I think
your
as real
family and your
estate,
friends.
that's the attitude that I think top producers need to have.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
they're
it's a
gonna be
customer
successful.
service business at the end of the day.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they
so.
view the role as a true consultant to help their client rather than just, I'm here to sell the next house,
Yes.
So that's the end of the day.
I think if your mindset is let's just sell the next house, you're not going to get very far in this business.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's not how the top people think, for sure, from at least what we've seen on the people on the show. So it's good to have you here for sure. If
Thanks for
somebody
having
wanted
me.
to pick your brain and just reach out to you and talk to you about real estate, talk to you about the Bucks, offer Cameron a job, whatever it might be, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
I'm not a huge social media person, but I definitely do like check my DMs on Instagram because I feel like it is a good way to like people reach out to me all the time. So I do check those. Or like if you just search my name, my email's out there on Smith website. Email me. I'll answer. I'm
Cool.
actually very good at answering those too. Now, if you message me on Facebook, it might be at least a week.
She was saying off camera
sorry.
she doesn't even have Facebook logged in on her phone.
I
so
don't.
I wouldn't go down the Facebook route.
I have
if
it
you're
on
trying
my
to reach
computer for like the Smith Agents group, and that's literally it. And Moms of South Tampa, you can get a lot of good recs out of that group.
Oh, there you go. Another
Yeah.
good gem that she just threw out
Yeah.
there. Moms of South Tampa. All right. Well, Brooke Brate, congrats again on the addition to the family coming
Thank
here
you.
soon. I guess the next time we'll see you might be after that
Yeah,
birth. So,
right around Thanksgiving. So
yeah, very cool. So that's a lot to be grateful for.
Yes.
For sure. We're going to end the episode the way we always do, which is to try to challenge the audience to take action with at least one action item. So what's one thing that you can take from listening to the conversation today with Brooke that might propel you forward personally or professionally? It could be just to simply look into ninja selling as an example, as one of the things that we had discussed today. It could be tapping into your personal network the way Brooke has been able to do through, you heard her story today of her journey through the football career and what that led to eventually. It's interesting to hear, Brooke doing this part-time initially and then over time, pivoting to a full-time career in real estate. Maybe you're somebody who's also doing this part-time right now and who's been debating whether it's time to go ahead and transition to full-time real estate. Brooke might be a good resource to talk to about something like that. But what's one thing? Maybe it's just one of the other recommendations that we threw out here today. Could it be that simple little moms group that you just threw out, Brooke? That was a good advice for many people. But take action on something. So if you're watching live, by the way, as a side note, subscribe by clicking the button below. If you're listening in on any of our podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, whatever it might be, that way you'll be notified every time we drop a new episode, which is weekly. Top Producers Nation podcast, of course, is the brand that you'd want to look for on YouTube, among others. And lastly, go to topproducersnation.com to once again see how to join our online communities, get access to the different resources that we have in place to help you as an agent be a top producer in your desired market. We have a lot of different programs, additional lead support, among other ways, to help you automate your career and follow what we call the 4 principles of top producers, which you'll find, of course, in those online communities that we have. We'll see you on the next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. We'll check you out later.